do you feel like there's any place you can find common ground with the governor and his Republican colleagues? Is there any policy at all that he's passed that you agree with on some level?
Yeah, it's a great question as well. So we were successful this past legislative session in getting to the tax package a permanent tax break on children's diapers, adult incontinence products. This is one of the bills that I filed, House Bill 29, that we were able to work across the aisle to get inserted into the main tax package where the governor already signed into law. So there are opportunities of alignment, across parties. I'm a firm believer in the power of persuasion. So I also take pride in the fact that on some of these really extreme bills, we were able to get Republicans, a handful, to vote no and get some amendments into other bills to make them less harmful. So I am a firm believer in finding those opportunities. At the same time, Governor DeSantis, he perpetuates division. It is a part of his brand. He does not see compromise as an option, which is really unhealthy to American democracy. Our government was built upon the notion of electing representatives to solve problems and to find chances to work together. And I'm very concerned that the path to power via people like former President Trump and now Governor DeSantis is to be as bombastic and aggressive and divisive as possible, to weaponize issues as wedge topics to tear people apart versus bring us together. That's an easier way, to try to win elections, is through division. It's much harder when you try to solve problems and find common ground. So I will always work to do that when possible. But I will say that on many issues, like a 6-week abortion ban, you just can't compromise on that. You can't compromise on taking away someone's freedoms and liberties, especially when you're talking about something as personal as parenting and pregnancy. Nonetheless, I hope to find more opportunities. My heart is always open to that, but it does feel more difficult to do when you're dealing with the current Republican Party.
In terms of pushing back against the Republican Party and Governor DeSantis, how have you felt with the Democratic leadership under Nikki Fried? How have you felt her leadership has helped the Democrats in Florida push back against the Republican Party? And do you still feel like there is hope for Florida to return to more of a swing state, lean a bit more blue? Do you feel like there will be a rejection of right-wing extremism after the era of DeSantis?
I am hopeful. I mean, a few thoughts. One is the wins we had recently in Jacksonville are a very big deal. Jacksonville, which has been known as a GOP stronghold, it's North Florida, what some folks, call it, part of the South, flipped blue across the board. And that's a huge win and a huge reflection of everyday people looking towards problem solvers and also feeling isolated by the extremism of the Republican Party. We're also on the ground right now collecting signatures to get abortion access on the ballot. So we're bringing the question of codifying abortion rights to Florida's Constitution to the 2024 ballot. And despite the operation right now being mostly volunteer driven, we have far exceeded our signature collection goals. And as we raise funds to hire paid staff, we will not only achieve the 900,000 plus signatures we need, but I feel confident we'll get the 60% threshold because time and time again, Florida voters tell us they support access to an abortion and they respect person's privacy and their ability to make this private decision. On the Democratic Party side, we have a lot of rebuilding to do. There's no way around that. And I'm very hopeful that our new chairwoman alongside our new executive director are going to help carve that path forward, but it's not going to happen overnight. I do think it's important that each one of us as elected Democrats and just everyday people, that we take a piece of responsibility in this. We can't look towards one institution to save us. We have to do the work ourselves.